and welcome to Marissa's Kitchen. Today I want to deal with the question, is THM too complicated? So my quick answer to that is, if you are trying to do Trim Healthy Mama for a very short amount of time to just lose, like a small amount of weight or even a large amount of weight, and you just want to do it for a short window of time, then I would say that Trim Healthy Mama is probably too complicated to do just like as a crash diet. So bear with me, but that's because there is a learning curve that comes with doing Trim Healthy Mama, that it really takes a little bit to get going with it and to learn it. But once you learn the principles, I think that it actually simplifies life and makes your life easier in the long run. So it's something that you want to stick with for the long haul, and the benefits of that are really going to pay off. So here's why I don't think THM is too complicated for doing for the long haul. Number one, you have to eat some way or somehow. And for me, I had all these like unwritten rules in my head, regarding food, and was very confused when it came to food. And so I lived under those rules, even if I wasn't consciously always thinking about it, and ate a certain way, but I didn't see results. So I think whether you are trying to diet or not, or trying to live healthy or not, you live under a certain set of rules. And so Trim Healthy Mama comes with a lot of knowledge of how the body works, and has this set of guidelines and principles that you would be following some guidelines and principles in your eating anyway if you have any sort of concern about your health. But these give you such a clear guidepost or plan for how to eat, where before I felt like it was just really haphazard, and I was kind of just pulling from all these different healthy ways of eating, but it didn't get the results that I wanted, and I was still eating under a set of rules. But with Trim Healthy Mama, it's much more efficient, and those principles are something that once you learn them are really easy to follow. Okay, number two might sound like a repeat of number one, but Trim Healthy Mama gives boundaries and parameters. And what I mean by that is that I used to look up, I used to have a whole stack of cookbooks, and like this one, I would maybe have like 2 or 3 recipes that I would use out of it. And I just felt, again, like I was just pulling recipes from here and there and here and there. And Trim Healthy Mama just gives you some very clear boundaries to eat within. And so for me, that simplified my life, because I was more of like a whole grain Jane, is what they talk about in their first book, as far as the kind of person who tries to eat healthy but is eating stuff that it's not really helping you lose weight, even though you're trying to eat healthy. And so I would just be, I felt like it was almost too broad of a spectrum, too broad of the world out there of looking for recipes. And so I was just kind of pulling recipes from here and there and thinking I was eating healthy. But Trim Healthy Mama really kind of, as I said, focuses it and makes, for me, it makes my life a lot simpler just to have a few cookbooks that I'm cooking out of. And I use my Trim Healthy Mama cookbooks all the time. I have never had so many recipes that I've used out of just like 1 or 2 cookbooks. So that is something that for me really simplified my life and helped me to not be, spending endless amounts of time on Pinterest and on the internet. I used to do all recipes, trying to find recipes and trying them out and stuff like that. And this way, also, if you're on the Trim Healthy Mama Facebook group, you get a lot of people's feedback on the recipes, so you can find out which ones are really good and worth trying. So you save time that way as well. If you're a Drive Thru Sue, which is Trim Healthy Mama's terminology for someone that eats out a lot, eats on the run, likes really convenient food, then I think you can make this work. You can go to fast food restaurants, and once you learn how to order you can pretty much go to almost any fast food restaurant or restaurant, and there's very, very few experiences that I've had where I couldn't find something on the menu that I could kind of tweak to make it on plan. And usually I have just learned to be a little bit more bold in asking, you know, my waiter or waitress if they would be willing to change something about the meal to make it. So it has helped me kind of step out of my comfort zone a little bit of asserting myself and making it so that the meal is something that I can have that's on plan. So I definitely think that you can make Trim Healthy Mama simple. Number 4 is, I don't think it's too complicated if you take meals you already eat and THMify them. So this is just, I want to give a really quick, I had written down some of like people's favorite meals, my favorite meals, and I just want to quick like go through and say how I make those Trim Healthy Mama friendly. So if I'm having spaghetti, I would just have that over spaghetti squash, and I would find a low carb sauce. If I'm having sloppy joes, then I would, if I'm gonna keep it an S meal, which is higher in fat, I'd use ground beef, and I have a really yummy recipe, and I know there's one in the cookbook, but and then I would just eat that with low carb tortilla, or over like broccoli. I would eat my meat kind of separate with my veggies. If I was going to make that an E, then I would use ground turkey, and I would have that over sprouted bread, or I just recently found some sprouted buns, and so that is how you can take sloppy joes and make that easy THM meal. Burgers, you can order those at restaurants lettuce wrapped. You can serve your own over lettuce. I have just recently found that I actually like it wrapped up in a low carb tortilla. And tacos, low carb tortillas, I talk about those a lot, but or making a taco salad. Pizza, using a low carb tortilla, a cauli crust, or you can make it an E by making Gwen's nest bread and using very minimal amount of cheese and maybe some turkey pepperoni, or have it as a crossover. I definitely think crossovers are overrated. No, underrated. I definitely think crossovers don't get enough credit in THM because I think they do help your body and they're switching your fuels up. And go ahead and make the Gwen's Nest bread and have it with all the toppings you want and enjoy that on a Friday night. Or my favorite way of having pizza has been just to take all the toppings off, and then if you have a salad, then have it over salad with some ranch. So that's how I've gotten used to eating pizza. Chicken and sweet potatoes, getting a rotisserie chicken from Costco, microwaving some sweet potatoes, and having some sort of green veggie, and you've got a great e-meal. And then chili. Pearl's chili is amazing, but there's lots of other chilies out there, variations of chili. So those are just some of I feel like our basic American meals that you can take and make, you can easily make them Trim Healthy Mama just by tweaking one or two things. So the next way that I believe Trim Healthy Mama is not too complicated but actually simplifies your life is if you are okay with having a lot of repeat meals or routine meals that you have. Pearl would call these her sweatpants, oatmeal. She has sweatpants oatmeal, which is like your kind of go-to meals. So coming up with your list of things that you don't mind having a lot, that you don't get sick of, and kind of takes the brain work out of it so that you just kind of are more operating on autopilot. So for me, that has been a lot of oatmeal or baked oatmeal in the morning for breakfast. I've made a lot of the Bam cake or banana muffins from Brianna Thomas that I hope to do a review about soon, that you can put in the freezer and pull out and have just ready for you. I find, making one dessert on the weekend and then having it last me for the week. I don't mind having the same dessert every day for 4 or 5 days, or however long I can make my Trim Healthy Mama dessert last. You know, if I can have that in the afternoon with a cup of coffee, then to me, I don't get sick of that. If you're the kind of person that needs a lot more variety, then I definitely think that will probably take your work level up a notch. So keeping it as simple as you can through routine and repeat meals, making double batches of things and freezing them, and, you know, separating out lunches into little containers and having those in your freezer. Those are just ways that you can make it so it's not complicated. And last but not least, if I can do Trim Healthy Mama for 6 years, I think anybody can do it, because I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I have not liked cooking up until when I started Trim Healthy Mama. Like, I detested cooking. In fact, the fact that I have a show, a YouTube channel about food and cooking really makes me just laugh and just see how like amazing God is that he could change me, because I detested cooking and didn't know what I was doing when I got married. And Trim Healthy Mama has just helped me so much appreciate eating good food. And the other thing is, I've heard this quote, and I don't know if this is a real quote or not, but that Steve Jobs said, "Look for the laziest person, because they're going to be the person to know how to do things the easiest or most efficient way." And I feel like that is so much me. That's the whole heart of my channel, is to help you guys know how to do Trim Healthy Mama easier and simpler, just because that's how I live. That's how I do it. The only thing I make exceptions for on complication is probably THM desserts. And I finally got to the point where I've had ones that have really turned out amazing and other ones have flopped. And one time Allison said to me, "You know what, I'm kind of overdoing all the desserts, and I'm really just okay with having some good chocolate." And so that kind of inspired me to not overdo it in the kitchen, trying to do too many desserts, maybe saving those really special fancy desserts for things like Easter, Mother's Day. And I just did a video for Easter where I made a pretty complicated dessert. And then on the, just, you know, on a normal week, just make a pan of Cry No More brownies and have that last me the week. Or some Sherry Graham's no-bake cookies, which are amazing, and have those last me for several days. So that is just how I keep it easy, and I hope to pass those things along to you guys. But I don't know if this answered your question on it. Is Trim Healthy Mama too complicated? But this was just my opinion about it and how much it has helped me. And I feel like if I can do it for 6 years, then anybody can. So you guys have a great day. And I would love to hear in the comments things that have helped you simplify Trim Healthy Mama.